Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers. We're getting close. In our first story, a choosing beggar is looking for a passionate, talented artist to draw some characters for him. Fatties need not apply. Let's jump right in. Back in 2012, when I was in my third year of art school, I was approved for freelancing and went on one of the recommended sites to find work and build up credit. There was a section for newbies like myself, containing work considered beginner level, and one post to me really stood out. Not sure if this would qualify this person being a choosing beggar, but I feel it's definitely up there. One person in particular was looking for around 12 character sheets of his own characters for a project he wanted to get started on, and was offering around $15 to $20 for each character drawn, as well as telling the important people about our work to get our name out there. Since I was new at the time, I had no idea the price was insultingly low for the quality of work he wanted, full color and shaded turnarounds and the items they carry, and that he was basically offering exposure as extra. Looking back, I believe this is why he had his job posted on the section for the beginners. He was hoping they simply didn't know better and would gladly accept. Then comes the list of demands to be met. The work had to be digital only. Fine, no problem there. The work must be streamed so he can see it being done in real time. No explanation for why. At the time, the only program I was somewhat familiar with was Livestream, but not familiar enough to try and run the program for myself. I get wanting to see the process of how an art piece is made from start to finish, but in real time and live? The level of work he wanted would have taken several hours per character, and he wanted 12 of them. The work must be done in Photoshop only, and the latest version at that. His reason? A person truly dedicated to the craft would go out of their way to always own the newest and latest versions of programs and equipment. Anything less meant you were a cheapskate and that you had no real passion. The version of Photoshop I owned was CS2, and at the time the latest version was CS6. Even with a student discount, that was still at or more than $600 from what I recall, which was way beyond what I could afford. By this guy's logic, it meant I wasn't dedicated enough, I guess. I feel like he wanted the work to be streamed live so he could be sure we were using the program he wanted. Lastly, you needed to submit a photo of yourself. Why? He didn't want to work with fat people. His explanation? It was a matter of principle, as being fat equals being lazy, in his words, and he didn't want his time wasted by a lazy artist. The price was non-negotiable because he said it is a generous enough deal as it is. As much as I wanted to believe this guy was just trolling, the comments from other freelancers proved otherwise, and he wondered why he had a hard time finding people to work with him. In story 2, we have a choosing beggar who is too cheap for McDonald's. I'm a 21-year-old female and I work at McDonald's, and today was a busy day in the drive-thru, so I was outside taking orders at the cars. So some younger people pull up, like 5 of them in the same car, not wearing masks and definitely not from the same household. It's also a big BMW. They each make a small order, like a cheeseburger and a flurry. They are joking around, they think they're funny kids or something, but I didn't really care too much or pay that much attention to what they were saying, except for their orders. When I came to the last guy, he literally instantly hits me with this. I don't have any money for my part of the order right now, but I make vlogs though. Okay, so do you want to order anything or? Yeah, I kinda do, but I can't pay. Okay, well, then I can't help you. I think you're pretty. Maybe we can work together in my vlog, and that's the pay for the entire order. I am visibly confused. Or maybe some discount because it's Black Friday? No. Welcome to McDonald's. We don't work like that over here. And thanks, but I do not want to vlog with you. Please, I really like you, and it's only for my part of the order. Dude, you are driving a BMW. That's twice the size of my own car, and you have come to McDonald's, apparently without money. If you don't want to order anything, that's fine. Just tell me now, or I am going to cancel your group's entire order. The flip. Damn, you don't have to be rude. I'm just joking. I don't want anything, but my Snapchat is username. Please add me. You're so pretty. I want you in my vlog, so you're sure you don't want to? Whatever, dude. Guys, your total is this, and you can pay at the first window and pick up your order at the second. When you drive through, feel free to say hi to my boyfriend for me because he's working over there. He wasn't. I do have a boyfriend, but my boyfriend isn't my co-worker anymore. I'll tell him that I'm going to steal his girl. And he drives off. That was my first encounter with a Choosing Beggar influencer thingy, and I still can't really grasp what happened, to be honest. In story 3, even when you are doing unpaid work for nonprofits, you still meet choosing beggars. I have been consulting nonprofits on marketing strategy while searching for a job. I had spare time on my hands after I lost my job, so I thought, why not help nonprofits that focus on causes I care about by developing marketing strategy plans for them? So far, I have successfully consulted 8 nonprofits on strategic and campaign plans and have a 9th one ongoing. I have received glowing recommendations from the first 8. The current nonprofit I am consulting on has been incredibly challenging. I usually have weekly meetings with these nonprofits to help identify the problems, collect data and qualitative information, share my strategy and recommendations, and get feedback to refine the recommendations I make after the final presentation. I presented my strategy and recommendations to this 9th nonprofit last week. Their reaction during and after my presentation got me really doubting myself and demotivated me. For example, during my presentation, I make a recommendation for applying search engine optimization and search engine management, focusing on specific keywords relevant to their causes. I also make suggestions on keywords I think they should use for their nonprofit. One of the women interrupts and says, "Can you tell me what SEO and SEM is?" I was shocked because I had spent 20 minutes last week explaining to the same group what SEO and SEM are, how it works, and how it can benefit their nonprofit. I politely explained to her and the rest of the group again. It has been incredibly challenging working with this group. I usually take 30 minutes for weekly meetings and spend 5 to 10 hours per week analyzing the data they share or doing my own research for the strategy and recommendations. With this group, the meetings were more like a tea party. They shared no data with me. They did not have any data captured. It is normal for nonprofits to be disorganized, and I am mindful of this. I would make a list of items they and I would work on and get back on after each meeting. Not once did this group ever get back to me on any of those action items. Every meeting ended up lasting for over an hour versus the allocated 30 minutes. They would join late and end up discussing random stuff on the call. I would get like a needle's worth of info after overspending the allocated time every week and listening to a haystack worth of rambling. They did share a bunch of documents with me, which were all good to have, but nothing I could use to make meaningful deductions about their fundraising, donor profiles, donation sources, etc., despite asking specifically for most of these. During my presentation, this group asked me only a couple of questions, had no afterthoughts or comments. That made me wonder if they were not happy with what I had just presented. The most frustrating part for me was not to get any feedback or thoughts on how to refine my recommendations. They said they needed a week and would come back with questions the following week. Since then, this group has barely responded to my emails, postponed and canceled the weekly meetings, and just been plain absent. Here I am, wondering that if my recommendations were either absolutely disconnected from what they were expecting or something else is up. But I have no clue on what is going on. I decided to start helping nonprofits because I have spare time and I want to dedicate my skills to making a difference within the community. This experience has me frustrated and confused. Usually, nonprofits, at least the ones I've worked with before this one, appreciated any work given how underserved they are. Not this one, though. Thanks for reading my rant. Here's an update. One of them finally replied to my email. They asked for 2 additional weeks to think of questions. Thanks for all your comments and advice here. I have decided that I am moving on. This one was a waste of time and effort for me. But I am not giving up on nonprofits. I still want to continue to make a difference. This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.